Hello and happy new moon in Aquarius for January of 2025. I've got some really beautiful readings for you guys today. And if you're feeling drawn to more than one pile, I highly recommend watching both of those. Not just because I appreciate the more views the better, but a lot of them were very similar. And the reason I think that is because I think collectively we are experiencing like really big shifts. This is technically the first new moon of 2025. So for some of us it's about releasing 2024 and stepping into this new year, but that seems to just be a very common theme of with all of the readings of letting go of the past, releasing something pretty big and significant and stepping into this new way of being. And that's what an Aquarius season, an Aquarius moon cycle is good for, about finding clarity, finding the new ways of doing things, the new ideas, the new ways to approach this new year. So the first group that we have here is the season of the 13th moon. Group number 2 is the season of wild delights. And group number 3 is season of the cauldron keeper. So I hope you have a wonderful first new moon of 2025. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're excited for the Follow the Moon challenge. Be sure to click that notification bell so that you can join us with the videos that we upload every day for an entire moon cycle. So Wednesday the 29th is the start of that challenge, and I can't wait to follow the moon with you. Happy new moon. Thanks so much. Hello, Group 1. If you chose the season of the 13th moon, then this is your reading for the Aquarius new moon of January of 2025. So, the season of the 13th moon is kind of, even though it's typically the last moon of a calendar year, because sometimes we have 13 moon cycles in a year, sometimes we have 12. Depending on, and for example, this 2024, we had 13 moon cycles because we had a sneaky little new moon at the very end of December. So it's kind of like an in-between liminal space. It is a time of year that it's like we're not in 2025 yet, but we're still not really, we're not really in 2024 either. It's like these in-between spaces. And this is actually, this moon cycle is kind of an in-between time because we're heading into the end of winter and into spring within the next month. So by the end of this moon cycle, we'll have started getting warmer and the ground will start to thaw and we'll start to see buds and stuff popping out. But it's very much this in-between space. It's not yet spring, but we're kind of heading out of winter. And this moon cycle, this Aquarius moon cycle, actually encapsulates the season of Imbolc on February 1st, which is I think that it marks the middle of winter. So it's the time when you start to feel like you start to feel a little bit of movement underground subconsciously, I always stretch a lot when when we pass in bulk. It's just like your body is kind of getting used to moving again, moving a little bit more after maybe being a little lethargic and hopefully resting throughout the winter. So um this is kind of like a threshold, and that seems to be a very much a theme with this reading. It's like we're not starting something yet, and yet came up a lot throughout this reading too. It's you're not taking action yet, you're not moving yet, but some big transitions and some big movements are about to happen for you. So this is kind of your time to hibernate a little bit longer. Um, and I think that maybe this group has recently gone through some big transformation. So I hope I hope some of you aren't like picking this pile and thinking like, oh my God, we just went through so much already. Because of this world card here in the center, it feels like you already did kind of. So I think for some of you, it's that you've gone through big transformations in 2024, and I think for others, it's um maybe you've been transforming kind of within and subconsciously. And in 2025, you're ready to kind of like step out of that cocoon. I just see her with her hands up and like as if she's like emerging from something. So I think for some of you, it's like you've gone through this transformation already. And for some of you, I think it's been kind of on the DL, and you're kind of 2025 is going to be like you stepping out of that cocoon and through that threshold. I think for some of you that um one of the reasons that yet keeps coming up is you're not yet ready for something. And I think for some of you it's because you're waiting for others to catch up. Like you've gone through this transformation and you're waiting for others to catch up with you so that you can collaborate with other people. The Three of Pentacles is about working on something together. And I think this can speak like collectively as well. And then the Chariot, like we have the Chariot here, but I kept when I pulled this card, it was like not yet, but like you are like packing your bags, getting everything tied up with a bow, loading up the car, hooking up the transportation, like something really big is about to move for you, but it's not yet. This last moon cycle, I think, is more about a time of preparation, especially with this liminal card here. So I couldn't believe all of these cards here. We have lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. We are the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. And when I read the word portal, when I pulled this card, I was like, gosh, portals, like portals keep coming up. And then we literally pulled the portal card. Doors are opening, you decide, rewards, and wild card. So all three of these cards, look at all three of these cards together, let it focus. All of these have a doorway. Those of you that chose this group are literally at the threshold of a doorway, a new beginning, and maybe this new moon is kind of like a portal for you. It's like once you step through, you're leaving everything behind you, and you're being open to whatever new is coming your way. And that's really significant for this liminal space, for this literally being in the threshold, because I think this entire moon cycle is going to be about preparing for that. Whenever we're about to like take a big step, we that's when those fears come up, the hesitation and the like, oh, what if, and what if I can't do it? What if I'm making the wrong decision? And so this moon cycle, I think for those of you that chose this group, is going to be about confronting those fears when they come up, healing the past wounds and to officially be cutting cords and cutting ties for everything that you're leaving behind. I think I'm going to read the message that came through for this group before we go into the other cards. So, oh yeah, when I first pulled the Seasons of the 13 Moon card, the song that came up, like came in my head was a Beatles song, "Come Together." So I don't know if that's significant for anybody or if maybe it'd be beneficial for you guys to listen to that song. Remember, Aquarius is an air sign, and so sound and music and vibrations is very beneficial to connect to the air energy, or to sound is really great for getting things moving and getting energy to shift. So things aren't looking pretty right now. We can't keep sprinkling pixie dust on things and expect them to magically transform into what we want them to be. We have to put in the work and we have to take action. However, this last moon cycle of winter for you is not yet. Oh, how I hate the not yet. I want to do something now. I want to fix, I want to help, and I need to do something. It is difficult to sit in the void, and it's hard to sit with the emptiness without immediately wanting to fill it back up. But no, we don't want to fill it back up with just anything. Think deeply and think wholeheartedly about what it is that you want. Be careful what you wish for, because so the be careful what you wish for came up with because you're in this place of like really being able to instantly manifest things that you want. So like even if you have like a negative thought, like that's going to manifest instantly. So taking time this moon cycle to keep your vibration high. I know that's so difficult, but have some things that are in place to like switch your momentum into a more positive, because you're manifesting things like really instantly right now. So be careful what you wish for, but don't be afraid to dream big. Things are possible for you right now that you never thought were possible before. So that's why you need this liminal space to kind of readjust to like the new things that are coming in are like bigger and better than like you've ever wanted or even dreamed of. So you need time to like get your vibration in alignment with that, but just adjust to like accepting the worthiness of these really big things coming in. Things are possible for you that you never thought were possible. New doors are opening up for you. So start thinking about what it is that you truly, truly, truly want and start believing it. Use this liminal time to start getting ready, raise your vibration to come into alignment with these big things. Match the frequency. For some of you with this Hathor card, you really need to heal some things before moving forward. So doing the healing work, doing the shadow work. The Hathor's card is really about like deep, divine feminine healing, allowing yourself to be held. I feel like maybe those of you that chose this group are the ones that are always doing the healing and doing the helping. And those of us that are healers, we have to allow ourselves to rest and relax and to take care of our own needs and maybe seek out healing from somebody else, like I always try to do all my healing work for me, but it is really beneficial to have like an outside party to like help heal you. Yes, you can do it. You can heal on your own, but sometimes it takes that objective perspective and like if you're doing your own healing work, you're going to be attached to things that like you're ready to let go of, but you might like hold on to them. And then you're just prolonging that healing process and that letting go. So allowing yourself to be held by the Divine Mother, allowing yourself to be soft and feminine and relax and rest and to, I think this group is really allowed to hibernate, like let winter be winter and like really allow yourself to rest. Like still do planning and dreaming and thinking. We will have a Pisces full moon in this moon cycle, so that's a really good time to be dreaming and dreaming big. We also have some sticky astrology this moon cycle, this year really, but this moon cycle has some sticky astrology that I think will have us getting back into that lower vibration, negative thinking. So having some sort of ritual or thing that you do for yourself so that you're pulling yourself out of that negative energy more quickly instead of getting stuck and wallowing in that negative energy and kind of backpedaling or backtracking. We have precognition, psychic ability, and future vision. So this card was telling me that taking time to meditate, taking time to visualize. Again, a Pisces full moon is really good for that. To allow yourself to dream, like literally dream, maybe setting intentions before you go to bed and searching for answers, finding answers, whatever it is that you're psychically gifted to do, tap into that and as your strength. And if you're claircognizant, then it might just be simply meditating and allowing that knowing to come through. If you're clairsentient, allowing for that feeling and that sensation of having these big things to come through and to get into that vibration so that you're really feeling it, and that way you are manifesting it. If you're clairvoyant, to really taking the time to visualize and imagine and to envision these things that you want to be coming into your life. And if you're clairaudient, getting quiet and allowing those messages to come through. We have to be like in this space so that our hand is literally open and that we are receiving and that our third eye is open and lit up. Wings of light, becoming something new. So this was telling me that like some of like this, you are leaving behind an old version of yourself once you step through this threshold. So that's why you need to make sure that you are in this high vibration, you're in alignment and in this frequency, and that you have no doubts, and that you have, because any doubt that's going to pop up is going to water down your manifestation. It's going to cause blockages, and you really want to be in a place where you are believing and you are allowing and you are accepting these things to come through, because you are moving into the future. You're stepping through all of these doorways and portals into this new version of yourself. You're awakening or emerging from this cocoon as this new version of yourself. Our last card here is again, it's Moon Maybe Intuition. So this card is about confusion. And so I feel like some of you are in this place of kind of not really sure what you want, or you know what you want, but you're like maybe still feeling like you're not worthy of it or it's not possible. So this card really asks you to kind of like this card asks you to tap into your intuition and to really connect psychically and connect to your psychic strength, like I was saying before, and truly visualize the thing that you want. And again, instead of like just wanting to fill up this void and this emptiness with something or anything, make sure that these things that you're calling into your life are truly what you really want. But I think some of you are kind of confused about that, and that's why we're needing you to tap into your psychic gifts, to connect to your intuition, and to be open to what is coming through. And then you will find clarity. Remember, the air signs and an Aquarius moon cycle can help us find clarity for the things that for the goals that we're setting for 2025, for the things that we want to do, and for the places we want to go, and the people we want to meet, and the things that we want to have in our life. But for this group, you're in this liminal space, you're in this holding pattern. So first of all, if any of you are just like frustrated, like why aren't things moving forward? First of all, Mars is still retrograde, but this you have been given this time, this liminal space, so that you are going to truly be ready to step through this doorway when that doorway opens and when you finally decide to step through it. So your intentions this moon cycle should be about getting to that place, whether that's like doing shadow work, doing healing work, just allowing yourself the time to rest and recharge, or getting into alignment, believing and recognizing and realizing and allowing that you are worthy of these things that you want to be calling in. So this moon cycle, for those of you that chose this group, is about getting into alignment with the things that you want, but also kind of figuring out what you do want. And you've been given this liminal space, this pause, this time to figure it out. And that's all I have for you, Group 1. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see what you do once this wheel turns and you step through these beautiful magical doorways. Look how beautiful they are. I can't wait to see what is on the other side of this for you. Let me know in the comments which pile you picked, and I think we got to do either some sort of wheel clock emoji or maybe a doorway. Is there a doorway emoji? Let me know in the comments which pile you picked. Thank you so much for watching again. I can't wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass again sometime soon. Hello, Group 2. If you chose the Seasons of the Wild Delights, then this is your reading for the new moon in Aquarius for January of 2025. And this one's kind of interesting because the season of wild delights is the opposite time of year. This is the beginning of summer and summer solstice time where everything's hot and blooming and fruiting. And it makes me think, I don't think this pertains to everybody, but it makes me think that maybe some of you that have chosen this pile maybe have summer birthdays, maybe Cancer, Leo, Virgo people, especially because like we will be having our Leo full moon this moon cycle. So for Leos, this is like the Leo full moon time of year, meaning August, July, August would be like your new moon, your birthday time of year. And then this time of year, it is the opposite. It's your full moon time of year. So around your birthday, you might have low energy. And then when we get to this full moon time of year, you might feel like more like taking action and feel like you maybe have more energy or you're more productive this time of year. And I think that can be the same for even the Cancers and Virgos also, because it's the Leo full moon time of year, but next month is Virgo's full moon time of year, and last month was Cancer's full moon time of year. So you guys are still in your gibbous time of year phase where you have a lot of energy available to you, whether that's waning or waxing. So the cards that we have here are the Five of Wands, the Five of Swords, and Temperance, which is almost 5. It's 14. But I thought that was really interesting. So I looked up 555 angel number, and it says significant growth, transformation, embrace new opportunities, and trust the process. Move forward with positive changes. And the fives in the tarot deck usually represent some sort of conflict or obstacle that you're encountering. With the Five of Wands, you see these in this winter deck, they're playing with snowballs, having a snowball fight. In the regular Rider-Waite, they're playing with sticks, they're playing with wands and kind of like play fighting. So this card indicates a conflict, but like a silly, petty conflict. Like it just looks like children playing. Like, why are we arguing? Why are we even having this conflict? It's silly, it's petty. Sometimes when this card arises, it's like you know, arguing for the sake of arguing, just like to push somebody's buttons to get the like, or using an argument as a way of distracting. And I think that's more of what's going on here is a distraction. These little petty arguments are distracting you from your true peace and the changes that you need to make to find peace. And for some of you, this is actually avoiding a not just a change and a transformation, but avoiding a something creative, doing something creative, finding your purpose, like doing something that really lights you up and really like you feel guided and meant to do. The five of The Five of Swords often is a self-sabotage card. It can indicate that there's might be somebody in your life that's being dishonest or deceitful with you, but a lot of times it is ourself kind of again with this unnecessary conflict, this silly petty conflict that's distracting you and using it as an excuse. Like, well, I can't do that because I've got to I got to put all these little fires out. And what you're really doing is avoiding this thing that you're supposed to be doing. We have the Void, Stop, Embrace Winter, and Great Cosmic Womb, Karmic Relationships, Orion Energy, Polarity, Slow Soul Growth, and Conflict, and Seven Star Sisters, Birthing Creations, Tapestry of Life, and Expression. So I feel like this Seven Sisters is related to this Temperance card of like, this is what you're supposed to be doing, but you're trapped in, for some of you, this is like karmic cycles that you're just repeating over and over and over again, like this negative cycle that like you start you start to realize you need to get out of it. You start breaking that cycle and then you fall back into it again. It's like this trap that keeps sucking you in, this void or this vortex that keeps sucking you in. This card, Orion Energy and Polarity, speaks of just that. Like, supposedly a lot of the star seeds that come from Orion, there was this huge polarity difference in this duality, and duality comes up again in this reading. But there was this conflict, this like never-ending conflict, this good and bad, and this black and this white. But in this life and in this dimension, like there's gray, there's all the in between. Both of those things are true, but there is this in between, and that's where like that transformation happens. And so I think that as somebody who I do feel like I originated from Orion. I don't know like what you would say. I feel very connected to Orion energy, and it is very like positive or negative. And a lot of the traps that I get stuck in cyclically are because whatever that negative cycle was on Orion, like I feel guilty about it. Like I feel like I have to make up for and pay for, and therefore allow for the suffering, allow for this Five of Swords energy of self-sabotage and putting other people before myself because I feel like I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving, and because of whatever negative things happened in another lifetime. But for those of you that chose this pile, you're meant to break those cycles in this lifetime. You have paid your debt. You have overcome those karmic debts. And now you're meant to move forward and another path is illuminated for you, which we have this next card here, guide the illuminated path. Like, you're not supposed to like go back to these dark, shady, shadowy woods. You're supposed to follow the wolf forward, follow the light, follow the path that's being illuminated for you. But I think like for some of you, you're so distracted by these petty conflicts that you keep getting stuck in over and over again. You're not seeing the things that are around you. So I think that's another reason why this void card comes up, because you have to get dark and you have to get quiet and you have to sit in the emptiness, which is what the new moon is for. We're able to, or the dark moon is for, we're able to sit in that darkness, sit in that emptiness, release, release, release into the void things that no longer serve us. And then we start to find clarity, especially with an Aquarius new moon, we can start to find clarity and a path forward. But we have to get quiet. We have to sit in the emptiness. And a lot of us just fill up the emptiness with petty conflict, with stupid things, with social media, with distractions. It's literally distracting you from seeing this path that is so brightly illuminated forward for you. Maybe this is an idea that you've had for a really long time and have just never acted on it. Maybe it's something that you've tried and it didn't work out. And so you're not really sure where to go with it or how to do it, but you're definitely meant to birth something, create something. And this new moon in Aquarius would be a good time to figure out how to move forward with this creative project, whatever this is. Maybe it's a new career or new business venture, even if it's just creating simply for the sake of creating, doing something that you simply enjoy, allowing yourself to enjoy creating. Duality, I should have pulled this earlier. Duality, many meanings and misunderstanding. This again is pointing to there were negative things in past lives that have been keeping you in this negative cycle, but this is time to break it. The woman depicted on this card is Mary Magdalene, who is very misunderstood and portrayed as this sinner that was I don't know enough about Christianity to speak on it, but she was considered a prostitute, and but really she was a disciple of the spiritual teachings of Jesus and Christianity, and she was very smart and she was a landowner. But she's in the Bible, she's just portrayed as this prostitute, this sinner that was corrupting people because they didn't feel like women should be allowed to be educated. And this, there might be some misunderstandings of like whatever that negative role in a past life was for you. Because here there is no negative and positive. There is this like neutral gray ground where it can be negative things can be transmuted, they can be transformed into positive, and they can be like neutralized. And so holding on to this idea that like that was bad and I should be punished is not necessary in this life. And you're meant to maybe take that negativity, maybe take that shadow and take that darkness and use it to create something positive. Use it to illuminate instead of darken. We also have blood moon and courage. So this card is telling me that you have the courage and the strength to overcome whatever these obstacles are. And I think you probably already have, but then you fall back into that cycle again. And I think it's significant that this blood moon card is coming up because a blood moon occurs at a lunar eclipse. And lunar eclipses allow for shadows to be brought to the surface so that we can transmute them, so that we can let them go, so that we can heal them. So you are given this opportunity to finally like transmute and let go of this past so that you can break that cycle and move forward in a more positive cycle. The other messages that I have for this group is like I kept hearing surrender over and over and over again. You have to let yourself fall into this void. I think maybe some of you are afraid of like falling into the void and like not being able to come back out, but you do have a way out because the path will be illuminated once you surrender, and you're going to transmute these past shadows. So they're not going to hold you back anymore. You know, they're not going to be chaining you. So, um, when you stop fighting this fight, stop forcing something that isn't working, you will find peace. Surrender, surrender, surrender. There are so many things happening at once. We are multidimensional beings living out many different lives. You may be living out old cycles and patterns from the past. It is time to break the cycle. This path is being illuminated for you if you allow yourself to let go and be still and quiet enough to see and or hear which path is being illuminated for you. I think like I can relate to this reading in the sense that I'm like, okay, just show me the way, tell me what to do and I'll do it. But then I never get quiet enough to like listen and or see what's being shown to me because our stupid meat suit lives distract us from all of the things that like we could be doing. So the new moon, we get a chance every time the moon is dark, every month, to sit in that darkness and to sit in that quiet and to see what is illuminated for us. But back to this Season of Wild Delights card. I think for maybe some of you, it's going to take like doing something, simply something that you enjoy to like help get you out of this, like whatever it is that you're stuck in. So think of summertime things of like, I mean, I know we can't lay out in the sun, it's literally winter, but like just doing something for the sake of pleasure. Why do we only allow for pleasure to occur in the summertime? Why do we only allow ourselves to go out for a walk and enjoy the sunshine? We actually have so much access to sun right now because there aren't any leaves covering, and you can still go out in the sunshine, just bundle up a little bit. Let the sun soak into your skin, get some vitamin D. Maybe that will help. Take some vitamin D supplements. I think maybe this group also might have trouble with seasonal depression, or just doing something that you enjoy indoors. Sitting down and doing a puzzle without having a podcast or a movie on in the background, just simply doing something, having a conversation, sitting down, having a cup of tea and just simply enjoying it, having a cup of tea with somebody else and having a conversation, coloring, crafting. This group, I mean, there's certainly something about creativity here. Maybe by doing something, that's what I love about like adult coloring books is because it allows you to be creative. And once you're in that creative space, I feel like it inspires like more creativity. It might inspire you to draw or like do something else creative. So I think those of you that chose this group are like needing to do something just for the sake of enjoying it, doing something for fun. Maybe you're somebody that takes care of everybody else's fires and is putting out everybody else's fires, that you're not even focusing on you or yourself. And there is a need for those of you that chose this group to do that. So set your new moon intentions of first and foremost of setting a timer and allowing yourself to just be quiet, sit and meditate. even if that maybe just sit and have a cup of tea and be quiet and have like a pen and paper with you and jot down whatever comes up for you. Secondly, there needs to be some sort of pleasure, some allowing of yourself, feeling that you are worthy. Stop beating yourself up, stop self-sabotaging. So maybe setting intentions to like once a week do something nice for yourself, like go for a walk. If you can't go for a walk outside, go for a walk at some indoor place like a mall or something. And we have a mall here that has all skylights in one of the hallways, so it's kind of like you're walking outside. And like stop playing the martyr. Stop saying that like you deserve to be punished and you deserve like maybe it's easier said than done. I know that like it takes a lot of work, but this can just be one little chunk that you take out of it this month, and then next month you try to do a little bit more shadow work and see what different pieces you can heal. This isn't something that for some of you, I think it's been a long time coming, so it might be an immediate shift and an immediate change, but for some of you, it might just take like little pieces at a time to get there. I'm one that's like really slow to process things, so I have to take things in little chunks, but some people just want to like one and done, like get it over with. And I can't wait to see you do something creative, group two. Let me know in the comments if you chose this pile with I don't know, something create like a creative emoji. I think there's like art art pads or what art palettes. I think there's a or maybe a paintbrush or maybe a pen if you like writing. Um, Show me how you're going to be creative this month and help you get out of this negative cycle. Thank you so much for watching today. Happy new moon. I can't wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass again sometime soon. Hello, group 3. If you chose the season of the Cauldron Keeper, then this is your reading for the new moon in Aquarius for January of 2025. So the season of the Cauldron Keeper is actually the next moon cycle, like the end of February and into the beginning of March as we're transitioning into spring. And the reason I bring that up is because it's a time of the keyword for this card is quickening. So it's like about to birth something, like you're about to transition, about to make a transformation, we're about to enter, like we're ending winter and starting starting to begin springtime. So it's like this season of transition. However, I was feeling like some of you might have your birthdays between now and then. I don't know, I was just feeling like there's a couple things that come up in this reading that make me feel like some of you that chose this pile are maybe an Aquarius or a Pisces. Especially like with the cauldron here, like Pisces is a water sign. So we think we tend to like need to put Pisces in a container, and Aquarius is the water bearer. So it is the container, even though it's an air sign. So I don't know that was just coming up throughout the reading. So our tarot cards that we have are the Emperor, and I feel like a lot of you are coming through as the Emperor, either a masculine energy or somebody that lives their life in a very masculine way, meaning like they kind of oversee other people, or maybe you're someone who is just like doing everything for everybody else and taking charge. Maybe you're like the head of your household, whether you're male or female. I just feel like a lot of you are coming through as an emperor kind of energy. And with the 10 of swords as the next card, I was feeling like the emperor's done. Like the emperor is tired of taking care of everybody else and needs kind of a break. I feel like those of you that chose this group are kind of, you know that you need to make a change, and this is like a really big change, so you've kind of been hesitant, and that's why we have the Two of Swords, as like, you know, you need to choose something, but you're kind of hesitating to do it. I think I think this card can also represent a time period of when this transformation or this um change is going to happen. Uh Either within this moon cycle or within the next moon cycle, the Pisces new moon coming up next month. So we also have portal, doors are opening, you decide, rewards, and wild card. So this card also came up in group one. So if you felt called to that one as well, there might be some messages there for you too. We also have star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, and activation. And breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging, and the universe. So this card again, the micromanaging was kind of pointing me back to the Emperor here of like, you know, needing everything to be in a specific way at a specific time. And the thing with like big transformations is that they're not usually going to happen at the most opportune time. So we just have to like take it as it comes and adjust and change. And I mean, that's the like when we meet resistance and we meet obstacles, it forces us to change. I think I'm just gonna read the message that was coming through. Um, so the Emperor is done. You have big decisions to make within the next few months. Big changes to be made. Oh yeah, another thing with the timing thing within the next few months is like, because we have this melted snowman here also that made me think of like this transformation or this change is happening around this moon cycle, this season of the Cauldron Keeper, which is the Pisces new moon, is like when the snow is melting, when the ground is thawing, as we're transitioning into spring. There is something that you need to release in order to move forward, or something that you're leaving behind. I feel that you have moments and very brief moments of clarity where you feel connected to spirit and divinely guided, but then you disconnect and you fall into old patterns. This again is a very similar message to group two. So if you were called to any of the other piles, there might be messages for you there as well. And I think it's kind of like a collective experience too. Maybe that's why all three of these piles kind of relate of to like as we transition into spring, like are we truly going to let go of 2024 and let the past stay in the past and move into this new way of being, move into this spring and new life? For those of you that chose this pile though, specifically this is with this star bathing card, and I see this as like, I don't know, like falling stars. And I even was getting the song stuck in my head, catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. And it usually the song goes, catch a falling star, put it in your pocket, save it for a rainy day. But I was getting save it for a snowy day because two of these cards have like snow falling and then the stars kind of feel like they're falling as well. And I think this is about spiritual downloads and being open to receiving upgrades. I think that those of you that chose this pile have already maybe decided to like, I don't know, take a spiritual class or learn some spiritual modality, maybe some sort of divination. There's something that you are like learning and receiving new spiritual information. And I think that there have been they wanted me to recognize that like there have been things that like you've done within the last year that are very spiritually connected and very consistent because you're the emperor energy and you are very consistent with the things that you do. And I think that maybe this is like you dedicated to doing something every new moon or something like that. And now you're being asked to take it up a notch. Like say like for example, say you every new moon you sat down with your journal, lit a candle and pulled a card. Now you're being asked to like pull a card, light a candle and maybe uh do something extra, like do something different, like do some sort of ritual or do a meditation and just taking your spiritual practice to the next level. Um, maybe start working with herbs and oils and anointing your candle. Cat just walked by anointing your candle with herbs and like having different intentions and specific meanings, like taking your regular practice, which I think you've been really dedicated to and have been very consistent with, and you're being recognized for that. Like, don't stop doing the ritual that you're already doing on a regular basis. You just need to like add more layers to it. Um, but you really like they really wanted me to recognize you of doing that regular practice. I also feel like okay, I know this is like a collective reading and it's called to different people, but like you might be like I feel like you have called some sort of energy to you, maybe a deity or maybe elemental spirits in your area that saw what you were doing, saw this ritual practice that you were doing and like want to connect with you. Cause I just feel like there's all these lights being drawn to you, but maybe you don't really consider yourself like a spiritual person or something. I don't know. There's just something that you need to add and connect with your already wonderful regular spiritual practice. Um, you've already made big changes and been consistent with spiritual practice, and now you just need to step it up a notch. You will be receiving downloads and there's a huge energy clearing coming in for you. Releasing something from the past. Healing the heart, power of self-love. This is my card for the year. It's such a beautiful card. I'm going to put all of the affirmations from these readings in if you're a Twitch subscriber or a Ko-fi member, because this affirmation in particular is really, really beautiful. But I feel like you've been holding space for other people and you do that very well. And you are supposed to continue to do that, but you're also supposed to allow yourself to be on the receiving end of it. I do feel like this group is more masculine, especially with this emperor here. But you have to receive these downloads and spiritual energy. Like you have to be, and like feminine is receptive. You have to be receptive and uh, believe that you are worthy of receiving this divine guidance, but it's going to help you continue to hold space for whoever it is that you've been holding space for. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you've been holding moon meeting. There's something about the moon. Like you've been consistent with the moons this last year. And so there's something that like you need to receive in order to continue to hold that space and be that container, like we said about the cauldron and about Aquarius energy, like being the water bearer. But also, um, this has to do with love and self-love and believing that you're worthy of this. Like, I feel like feel like you see others as being worthy of it, but not you for some reason. Clarity, planning, and releasing illusion. So whenever we have the eagle come up, this is about gaining a bigger perspective, specifically a higher perspective, like an eagle eye view, and looking at the big picture and not this microscopic mundane life that the emperor rules. You're like being asked to expand, and I'm also being drawn to these spirals, like expanding your knowledge and your wisdom so that you can continue to hold space for others. We also have the dark moon, the past. So there's like a big release happening for you. And this is another reason why I thought maybe some of you that chose this group were having your birthdays within the next month or so, because that is your dark moon time of year. So it is a time to like go dark, get quiet, and to release a lot. We're releasing the past year. Like for those of you who have birthdays coming up, like you're releasing your past birthday year, but you're also releasing 2024 as well and stepping into 2025, like with the rest of us, with the collective. But there's something really big that I don't know, that maybe connects to this worthiness, this or a feeling of unworthiness because of something in your past. But all we ex- we have the experiences that we have to learn something. And even if that was like a negative experience, it doesn't mean that like you're gonna be in the negative forever. It doesn't mean that like you aren't worthy of good, of positive, of love. So again, the message comes back to holding space. Like you need to receive these downloads so that you can hold and be the container for the feminine. Some of for some of you, this is work that you've done for another. Holding space for the feminine, you need to upgrade to continue holding space. You are the container. I can't even read my own handwriting. You are the container / foundation to hold, but you also have to hold it for yourself. Receive. And I don't think it feels natural for you to receive. Like I was feeling resistance to the thought of even like being feminine. Like I identify as female, but I also have a lot of masculine qualities. And there are times in my life where I've had to be more masculine to do certain things. But it doesn't mean that I am male. It just means that I hold both. We all hold both. But that I was feeling resistance to like, so I do feel like maybe some of you that chose this pile are masculine or identify as male and struggle with the idea of being receptive and being feminine. But you have to, in order to continue to be more masculine and more divine masculine at that, you have to receive these things. And I do kind of maybe feel like whoever it is that you were holding space for is offering to assist with these downloads or assist with this spiritual learning or education that you're supposed to be receiving, and you've kind of resisted it. You've thought like, no, that's not for me, it's for you, or something like that. But so you and oh, this was a big thing too, specifically with this card. And this card or this woman here represents the dark feminine. So not just the divine feminine, dark feminine. Like you have to be strong enough to hold the dark feminine. And then that song Catch a Falling Star, because this one was following this figure seems to be falling, like catch a falling star, put it in your pocket, save it for a snowy day. I don't know why that kept coming up. Um Oh, and then I came back to this clarity releasing illusion. Like I feel like you're really good at like playing with fantasy, like playing with the idea of different realms or dimensions or different like liminal spaces and fantasy realms, but you're not really seeing it as real. Like these things are real. These energies that you call in with whatever the spiritual ritual that you do every moon is like calling these elementals in. And while I think that you like believe in them in a fantastical way, you're not believing in them in the real sense, which I mean, they're not real like physically in the 3D, but like they do exist. Other dimensions do exist. These elementals exist, and I think that like you're calling them with this ritual, but you're kind of not acknowledging their existence in a real sense, I guess. So releasing illusion and finding clarity. So for this group, like I think setting intentions to maybe step up your game, step up your moon ritual, whatever that is, and continue to be consistent with that this year because with every with every cycle you're making so much project progress with that consistency. Like consistency is not an issue for you. Like you are totally capable of being consistent with things. And um allow for set intentions on like asking how can I be more receptive but still stay in my masculine if that's something that you're struggling with. Um Something big shifts are happening within the next few months for you as the when the snow melts. Big shifts are going to be happening for you. And I also feel called to tell you again, like you are worthy of love. Love yourself enough to like make these changes because you are worthy of healing your heart and letting love in. So thank you, group 3. I hope you have a happy new moon. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. I can't wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass again sometime soon.